Bienvenue à Les Affaires Brassicoles, votre balado sur l'entrepreneuriat brassicole du Québec, avec Leonardo Calcagno de Baron Mac. Bonjour tout le monde, ici Leonardo Calcagno des Affaires Brassicoles, j'espère que vous allez bien. Bienvenue à notre série avec Canada Cup, où on fait des entrevues avec les juges, puis le monde qui vont bien sûr juger les bières, que ce soit le sorte de bière, le style de bière ou le packaging ou d'autres affaires. Comme vous savez, cette année, il y a une section avec le cidre, une entrevue qui s'en vient dans pas long avec la Cidre Canada pour qu'on discute un peu là-dessus. Si vous avez des questions, leonardo@baronmac.com. Et rappelez-vous, cette balado est commanditée par INNOMALT. INNOMALT, c'est une malterie québécoise qui offre du malt de qualité d'ici au Québec. Si vous avez des questions et vous voulez brasser avec du malt québécois, envoyez un courriel à info@innomalt.ca. On mettra l'information à la fin du podcast. Aujourd'hui, on va parler avec un des juges, c'est Chelsea Tessier. On nous parler un petit peu de comment ça fonctionne. Elle est une brasseuse, bien sûr. Puis on va discuter un petit peu de c'est quoi sa vision de brasser la bière, c'est quoi sa vision, comment on juge les bières. L'entrevue est en anglais. Si vous avez des questions, on va envoyer toute l'information à la fin du podcast. How are you, Chelsea Tessier?
I'm good, thank you.
Thank you. Again, thank you for your time, taking time for us for the interview. First of all, before we start talking about the interview, I was wondering if you can give me a little bit about you or your background, what do you do right now, stuff like that?
Yeah, so I'm actually originally from Ontario. I grew up in Cornwall, so not far from Montreal, actually. And I went to the University of Waterloo. I got my Bachelor of Science, and there was no jobs. It was a recession in 2013, so I ended up moving out to Alberta. I got a job working in a lab, so I did microbiology and ecotoxicology for almost 10 years. I started homebrewing just as a hobby, and then I started competing in the homebrew competitions around Canada. And I got really into it and started looking at opening a brewery here in Edmonton. And now we've been open for 2.5 years. And yeah, it's crazy. I also started judging in 2018, just as part of like improving my homebrew and making beer and learning about off flavors. And yeah.
You've been busy.
Yeah, very busy all the time.
What is the name of the brewery?
Polyrhythm. We make a lot of, so my husband's a drummer.
Okay, good.
So polyrhythm is when you combine 2 or more rhythms together to make a harmony. And so we thought that applied to beer as well, when you're combining different ingredients to make beer. And also people of the community. There's so many diverse people here in Edmonton, and just including everyone in our taproom space.
I love the logo. It's very stoner rock, the logo.
Yeah.
Very stoner rock. The first time I saw it, I was like, I'll get a musician for sure, man. That's great. So tell me, so what kind of beer people look when you go to your brewing?
We make a lot of hazy IPAs.
Okay.
We would really like to focus a little bit more on that, but the way that Edmonton craft beer is going, you just kind of need to have a little bit for everyone. So we have like our blonde ale and our pilsner and a red ale and a sour. But yeah, our focus and kind of my passion of brewing is hazy IPAs.
Excellent. So is this your first year as a Canada Cup judge?
Third year. Yeah, the last 2 years were in Niagara, so flew out there. And yeah, this year's in Calgary, so I'll be driving down a short little 2.5-hour drive.
That's true. So tell me, how do you judge beer? Because that's one of the reasons I was talking to a lot of judges since this morning and last week. Is like, we have our own. I personally don't like red ale beer. I don't people like it. And how do you start judging beer? How do you make sure that you don't? I mean, you like a hazy IPA. You're not going to be too kind to other beers. How do you start judging when you start judging beer?
Well, actually, I didn't always like IPAs.
Okay.
When I first started judging, there was just like a lot of really bad IPAs on the market, and it was not a style I liked. And I ended up judging a competition where in the morning I did New England Pale Ales, then I did IPA, then I did double IPA, and then I did hoppy session.
Oh my God.
I spent a whole day judging IPAs and hoppy beers, and then I kind of like learned learn
So
that
for
there's like lots of nuances, and that I kind of learned to like them based on having to judge them all day.
okay, good.
But I think just learning about off flavors, doing those off flavor kits. The homebrew club here had like education sessions, so I learned lots about judging that way, looking at the style guidelines, and also just tasting a lot of beer and traveling. So, like I said, I grew up in Ontario, so when I go visit my parents, I'll go to Ottawa, I'll go to Montreal, check out the breweries there. My husband's from the Okanagan, so we'll go check out breweries in BC, and I judged the BCBA, so the BC Beer Awards in Vancouver. So going to check out breweries there. We're going to hop selection in September for the first time, so going to Yakima Valley and trying breweries out there. And yeah, I think just trying a lot of different styles and seeing what people are brewing in different regions is inspiring, and also helps. Like I find the BJCP style guidelines are really sometimes a little narrowed, and they don't get updated as fast as craft beer is evolving. So when you go and, for example, like American IPA, like West Coast IPA, like if you look in the style guidelines, it's like they still kind of define crystal malt. But when people are brewing them now, like we were in Denver last year, like they're all pale. Like you're trying to make them as pale as you can. So I think, yeah, just
Okay, water, more like watery, like clean, like that.
yeah, like the color of a pilsner.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah. Okay, that's
yeah.
weird. Okay, I never tasted that. Okay. So tell me, how do you judge? How do you start judging, like all those beers? I mean, how many beers are you getting?
Usually it's like 7 minutes a beer.
How many?
7 minutes per beer.
Yeah, but how many
So
beers?
in a flight there's like 10 to 15.
Oh my God. Okay. And how like you're like there 2 days pretty much.
I think it's 3 days. So I don't know. Yeah, you
So
end up judging 30 beers in a day. Usually you don't want to judge too much because your palate kind of gets tired, but you're only judging a small sample.
yeah, but how
You're
do you
not
judge?
finishing.
How do you judge? I mean, as a brewer, you have your way to think about beer, stuff like that. You can find all the little problems like that. So how do you judge beer besides being trying to not to make your own high APA, whatever? But tell me, how do you judge beer? Do you have your own paper? Do you have your own way to start talking? Or there's like the judges tell you this is what you have to find? What is it?
Well, you look at the style guidelines, you look at what the competition defines, and then you look at if there's not enough information, you would look at the BJCP.
Okay.
Really, like when you get into experimental categories where it's like less defined, then I look for balance.
Okay.
Yeah, so the drinkability of it, if it's balanced, is the sweetness balanced is it like, yeah, is it balanced?
I was talking to a judge. He's from Finland, and he loves that how you call this that category, the funky one. He loves that one.
Experimental.
He loves it
Yeah.
because he always gets some crazy stuff. It's like cereal beers like that. He's
Yeah.
from Finland, so he's very happy to like when there's crazy stuff like that. So tell me, what's happening right now besides judging? What's happening right now? The Edmonton scene right now.
For breweries,
Okay.
well, we have it's called Happy Beer Street. So there's like I think 7 or 8 breweries now on this like one little row.
Okay.
So that's kind of happening right now. There hasn't been a lot of, I mean, it's a hard time right now in craft beer and small businesses in general. And there hasn't been any new breweries that have opened in the last year.
Okay.
There was one last year, and so it's really slowed down here in Edmonton. And I guess my hope for it is that we create the excitement that you see in cities like Montreal and Vancouver about craft beer. And I mean, our tap room, we're located in an industrial park, but also close, like walking distance to residential areas. But we're tucked in a little bit. So we've been working like really hard at letting the neighborhoods know that we're here. And it's always like, a great feeling when you have a packed, busy tap room, and you're like, people have to find you. So it's really working towards that, and people are excited. And I love seeing people ordering like a flight of all hazy beers, but then it's so hard to get restaurants to want to pick those up at their bars, because it's not something that like moves in the general public, but people who come looking for it, they want that. So.
Yeah, and it's hard to pair with food, stuff like that. I know there's like a lot of people asking for that. At the same time, there's a lot of cheese you can eat with that. It's pretty amazing, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Excellent. Well, Chelsea Tessier, thank you very much for a great French name. Do you say Tessier or Tessier?
Tessier.
Tessier is good. All right. So thank you very much, Chelsea Tessier, for your time. Hopefully to see you in Quebec. You never know. Maybe you guys can come to see you in Quebec at November. For sure. Do you have any? What's the address of your brewery? We're going to pull all the information at the end.
Yeah, 11635 145 Street Northwest.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much.
Absolutely. Cheers.
Cheers. Merci beaucoup à tout le monde d'avoir écouté les Affaires Brassicoles. Si vous avez des questions concernant avec notre invité ou sa brasserie, on va laisser toute l'information à la fin du podcast. Et bien sûr, si vous avez des questions pour Baron Mag, leonardo@baronmag.com. Puis bien sûr, ce podcast est commandité par INNOMALT. INNOMALT, c'est du malt québécois de qualité. Si vous avez des questions, info@innomalt.ca. Merci beaucoup et à la prochaine.